Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. Today we have got ourselves what should be an absolute banging match here. Give me a sec while I just adjust the microphone. Don't want that to teeter over while I'm commentating, or it would sound like I'm falling. Anyway, yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. I thought I would do a video for Christmas. I know that since the end of the Alpha Star series, my uploading has been a little bit erratic. And I've kind of been reverting to just doing videos when I want to do videos, doing videos that I enjoy, and not really feeling pressured to do it over the holidays or things like that. Because, you know, it's time to relax, enjoy yourself. I've been working a lot, too. And, yeah, I thought, you know what? Before I really get into the Christmas festivity, let's do some good old classic awesome Starcraft 2. And awesome this one should be, as in the top left-hand side of the map, we have got the Kazi Terran. His name is INnoVation. And in the bottom right-hand side of the map, representing Team Jin Air, we have got Rogue. And no, this isn't some deja vu, me casting a replay I've already cast. This is actually INnoVation versus Rogue from a while back, not super long ago, but yeah, we actually just cast him in the Trovo Invitational too. So these guys play each other a lot as one of the best Korean Terrans and one of the best Korean Zergs, respectively. So yes, we're on the map Romanticide, and ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. And for the algorithm, in the description down below, and just because I genuinely want to know what you guys are doing for the holidays in these wacky times, let me know. Let me know what you're getting up to for the holidays. What's your unique Christmas tradition or whatever, things like that. Like personally, my family, I think one of the weird things we do is like we have pizza on Christmas Eve. That's not a super common thing, I don't think, as people tend to not eat the food that you eat like every day of the year, but growing up as kids, it's like, oh yeah, pizza, Christmas Eve, yes. Anyway, we have got this Reaper for INnoVation comes on in, rudely bounces that poor drone, and then the Reaper is now popping on out. The Reaper didn't go towards the third base to try and block it. That's something that's very interesting, and oh man, watching this StarCraft is making me want to commentate StarCraft right now. I do love me some good old StarCraft at the minute. It's always just fun to ladder. I've even been playing some 2v2 lately, which has been an absolute blast. Just like, it's such odd unit dynamics. You can get away with more crazy stuff in 2v2. And so yeah, let's take a look here. We see the Queenie Bobini gonna be chasing away this Reaper. The Reaper's just like, no, just moving away an inch at a time. Like, no, stop it, go away. Yeah, now let's see. Oh, the Reaper tosses down a grenade, tries to get that creep tumor, but is unsuccessful. That's a bit unfortunate. INnoVation's Reaper not able to get anything just yet. Now we see Stimpak on the way for Inno behind his fast third command center. This is something that Terrans have been doing so much lately, and it doesn't get punished as much as it should do, I don't believe. The Reaper gonna have to run away too as the Lings are in pursuit, but there's the Hellions coupling up with it. And so the game's going to continue on as a normal macro TvZ. Romanticide is a bit of an interesting map. I think it's a rather good map, though. It's got relatively defended bases, but then it's also got exploitable areas. But then it's also got a lot of choices for where to expand as well. So I think that's the makings of a really good StarCraft 2 map. These Marines gonna chase away this speed overlord that Rogue has. Yeah, Rogue comes in, sees the third command center, sees the timings on the racks, knows there's the third CC. No surprise, really. No Zerg these days is gonna be like, oh my god, a third command center. I never thought I'd see the day. No, it's very common these days. Both players are also getting their upgrade centers on the way. The Evos for the Zerg, the E-base for the Terran, and so they'll both be getting up their upgrades. They could kind of just make a deal that neither of them would get upgrades, and then they could just not bother with it, but I don't think we're there yet. Let's take a look here. 10 drones on the way here for Rogue. Now we see 1-1 on the way for both players. Stim is about to finish up for INnoVation. He should have some medivacs with some Marines coming out relatively soon. It's Terran, once they finish up their first factory, the first thing they really do is swap that over, get 2 medivacs out, get some Marines out on the map, start pressuring the Zerg. And INnoVation is going to have to pressure Rogue quite a bit, because Rogue's creep spread is going to start getting out of control a little bit, as he's flopping down a lot of tumors at the front, getting up a 4th base. And yeah, we'll see if INnoVation's going to be able to pressure Rogue at all with this, because the Zerg player is making a lot of lings. INnoVation doesn't have an armory yet, so it's not like he can transform his Hellions into Hellbats to help out in a fight. He's also still got to get up his 4th and 5th racks. I imagine we'll be seeing those soon, but for now he is just making a lot of Marines. A lot of Marines. He fires up the armory so he can start 2-2, but maybe he's going to try and synchronize Hellbats in with this attack against Rogue. Rogue's Baneling Nest still has got a ways to go, and of course there'll be slow Banelings. It does end up looking like INnoVation is just going to rely on a double medivac drop to get this started. He's going to fly over, say, whoa, the creep is already out this far. By gosh, Rogue. Now we see INnoVation, yeah, unloading these Marines. Gonna try and pressure a little bit, gets a creep tumor, maybe 2, but there's way too many lings here, so INnoVation does just have to pick up, saves all the Marines, starts unloading. Yeah. And this macro game is just going to continue on, which is kind of crazy for TvZ. The Terran not really getting any damage done. We see a Hydra Den on the way for Rogue. I imagine this is going to be for eventual lurkers. Zergs tend not to play, like, with Hydras as much as they do anymore. I mean, I think Hydras, they're still kind of decent, but lurkers are just much more appealing, have a lot more utility. Alright, INnoVation looking to push on in, just stims forward onto creep right away, but he's going to have to retreat now, loads up into the medivacs. Widowmine does hit the Banelings. INnoVation going to start unloading his units. It's mainly just Banelings in this army for Rogue, so Rogue's got to hesitate, get out 36 more lings he's producing in order to basically deal with these Marines, because yeah, you can't just deal with Marines with just Banelings, or you'll take a very poor trade, and this is exactly what we see INnoVation doing right now. He's just unloading the Marines individually, detonating all those Banelings, and I think that was a rather favorable engagement for the Terran. He's now got his Hellions coming forward. They could have been in that fight originally, but they were not. Now that they can join up, INnoVation, is he going to morph those into Hellbats to absorb some Banelings? That's yet to be seen. There we go. Widowmines as well coming forward too. Rogue does have Baneling speed, however, so this is going to really complicate things for INnoVation. He does have pretty good splits, though. He's starting to push on in towards the Zerg's base. Rogue has got just a lot of lings. Over some Banelings did finish morphing. Rogue does a good job, excellent job, as a matter of fact, baiting those out. But oh, Widowmine gets a huge connection on the lings and Banes. Crazy engagement, as INnoVation is just continuing to hammer on Rogue non-stop. There's no counterattacks being queued up by the Zerg. It's strictly just focusing on this battle for both players. One Widowmine goes off, however, there's another Widowmine at the front. That one's not going to detonate as INnoVation unburrows it to save the shot. Rogue hasn't been able to clean up all these Widowmines, which has been rather painful for him. Otherwise, he could have definitely pushed INnoVation back, but these mines not being reset, not having their count cleared, has really made life a lot harder for the Zerg player. INnoVation continuing to step forward onto creep. Rogue's done an excellent job replacing it, and now he rolls forward, gets on top of that Terran army very quickly due to the creep. But INnoVation, once again, doesn't retreat too far. He's got more mines coming forward, more bio, as this engagement is just not stopping between these two. Widowmines going off there, shaving off some Zerg units. This battle is continuing on. However, now Hydras can punish the medivacs that INnoVation has. 2-2 is about to finish up for both players, so it's kind of like not relevant, because they're both going to have their upgrades done. Now we take a look. A 4th command center is about to finish up for INnoVation. He's realizing he needs to transition here. He's just throwing up that 4th just very quickly at the front of his base as he's rallying out more units. He's got +3 attack on the way, no +3 armor. He's getting up additional barracks now, so there'll be an 8 racks producing Terran, as he's just been trying to all-in Rogue on 5 bases. But now we see INnoVation has to retreat once more, load up into the medivac and get away, keeping all the Marines alive, playing with fire by loading them into those very injured medivacs. As we see, those are all just 1 or 2 Hydra shots away from falling. So INnoVation's got to be very careful the next time he goes on creep, or he may get punished losing some of these medivacs. The Zerg player has had his creep pushed away, but INnoVation just can't step into this concave. As we see now, the Terran player stimming his bio, gonna split. INnoVation just like living Marine split challenge right now. The Marines are getting some very good trades against those Banelings. They're all getting nullified. Not the best connections for Rogue. The Hydras have to retreat till more of a buffer arrives, and there's the rest of the buffer. Banelings show up. INnoVation's Marines kind of taking an awkward path, but a huge Widowmine connection goes off. That being said, Rogue still did get some decent Baneling connections and was able to clean INnoVation up once more. The Zerg player now, during all this chaos, has got up a 5th base, now has a hive on the way, the lurker den's on the way, and 10 more drones being squeezed out. So Rogue's Remax capability is going to grow, and INnoVation has been forced to transition. After what was like a 5-minute long engagement, these two finally agree to macro out a little bit. INnoVation probably not the happiest about it. He was really committed there to that attack. Like, he is a Terran who's getting up a 4th base, yes. He's got 3-3 on the way, yes. But he doesn't have good factory production, no factory upgrades. I mean, he does have 2 factories to make Widowmines with, but it's not going to be great for INnoVation going up against a Zerg like Rogue with all this free reign. We see a Widowmine drop is hitting this base, kills off 7 drones. Those mines are going to run away. One of them might actually get away. INnoVation now looking to push on towards the front of the Zerg. He's adding in some Marauders into his composition, which I do like. He's actually just going to stim on in towards the space. This is crazy play from INnoVation. He's actually just going on creep so boldly, trying to run away from some Banelings, but does not successfully, so eats some nasty connections. The Widowmines didn't do the work that was required of them there, and these Hydras are going to trade out against this bio just darn well. INnoVation up on supply, however, is he's just a macro machine. Look at all these units he's got produced down here. Rogue, however, has been investing in more tech, getting up lurker upgrades, getting up burrow, getting up +1 attack for his lurkers. All the while, INnoVation just going to move out with the rest of this bio. Push towards the south, it appears, but no base there for Rogue except the 3rd. So yeah, INnoVation's got a ways to go if he's going to make an attack to that location work. He's now pushing in towards this base. I mean, Marines are going to run away from the Banelings, so not going to get a lot done there. INnoVation now pushing towards the 3rd. He's going to be able to set his Widowmines up in this choke point, which could be good for him, but I'm actually just amazed by INnoVation's boldness to step on creep this game. Those mines are going to have to burrow for him, and they do. Rogue doesn't pick them all off, so some Widowmines do get some good connections. However, there's a lurker set up at that 3rd base, so I'm not sure INnoVation can crack this location. He's actually just going to boost into the main base of Rogue, which is a very bold play. The Zerg player sees this coming. It's not his first rodeo, so he is going to be able to shut down this drop rather easily, it looks like. And a lot of these units may just be stranded, may just be trapped. INnoVation actually going to lose them all, it looks like, as the Medivacs are getting targeted down. The bio will trade out okay with the Hydras, however. While this is going on too, INnoVation is pushing towards this north base, stimming forward, getting on top. The lurker's going to pick him off. So he's going to be hitting the 5th base of Rogue, killing off some drones. All the while, the trade in the main base didn't go too bad. He's got an attack hit in the 3rd. Widowmine actually burrows at the 3rd. 7 drones go down. This 5th base goes down. That's the real big victory for INnoVation as his supply continues to grow. While the Zergs is not looking too hot, INnoVation's getting up more CCs. He just went to go build a CC here, saw an Overlord, and was like, oh, I guess I'll build it slightly to the right. But wow, what a great spot for INnoVation. Looks like he might even be building a command center here too. That's kind of crazy. Now, INnoVation did get Rogue's base, which is very good for INnoVation. Make no mistake about it. He's up on upgrades. He's got a very good amount of bio, and I'm saying that a lot. But yeah, INnoVation's now just got to really respect these lurkers. The lurkers, they're cost efficient for the Zerg. This is why we've been seeing Zergs in this situation be kind of comfortable lately. Yes, Rogue lost a base, which of course he wouldn't. He'd ideally not have had that happen. However, he's still a 4-base Zerg. He's got those just really good units for trading. The Lurkers, the Vipers, now INnoVation is actually going to mule this mineral patch. Oh my gosh, and actually try and break through this patch with a mule. And a mule actually does that. An SCV takes 2 trips, a mule takes the 1, which is kind of crazy. And INnoVation just stims through here. I don't think Rogue expected this. The Lurkers are going to reposition. INnoVation's going to pick off 1 or 2. Some good Widowmines get shots off. Looks like Rogue is coming for a surround. Parasitic Bomb goes off on one of the Medivacs. This is crazy. The bio's trading out. Looks like INnoVation loses quite a lot. The Lurkers just did their job. They cleaned up the bio. The rest of Rogue's army pretty much died. The Baneling's gone. The Ling's gone. But in the end, INnoVation gets pushed back as the Lurkers are quite a tough challenge to conquer. The Vipers also staying alive is good to see. Rogue's transferring drones to his newly rebuilt 5th base. He's got 5 or 6 lurkers there. That's kind of an amount of lurkers, which it's impossible for the Terran to just stim into. Rogue has to reburrow his lurkers towards his 3rd base, though, to push this army away. Hydras and lurkers trading out against the bio. We do see INnoVation retains his supply lead as this goes on, but he hasn't been able to break Rogue. These lurkers reburrow oh so quickly. INnoVation. INnoVation getting up yet another command center. He does have this 5th base up and running now, which is not a good sign for the Zerg. Equal bases to the Terran when the Terran's got extra command centers for days. Lots of scans for INnoVation to deal with these lurkers. But he's still got to be very careful. Looking for a perfect engagement. He's moving towards the 3rd base, but this is a choke point he's running through the bio. He's got to turn around, as there's 5 lurkers there for Rogue. There's lurkers at the 3rd base. INnoVation is stimming forward onto this. Parasitic Bomb was used on the Medivacs. Blinding Cloud ensures that the bio can't just stim onto those lurkers, and so a good trade for Rogue. INnoVation's supply is starting to even up with the Zerg players. The Zerg is getting +3 Carapace, +2 missile attacks. Those units will start to get better and better. And INnoVation still has yet to make a successful play happen. He's going to load up into the Medivacs, which I really like. He's just going to bypass those lurkers into the main base of the Zerg. Really bold play from INnoVation. Gonna jump on in here, start stimming the bio, pick off the Spore Crawler. Lurkers are coming forward, just going to dive on top of this. However, INnoVation can target down a few of the lurkers, and he's actually getting quite a few. 5 lurkers going down. So really good play by Rogue there, or by INnoVation, pardon me. Rogue is able to clean that up successfully. At the same time, those 4th base is really getting hammered. He's got Widow Mines on top of his lurkers, funnily enough. I'm not sure how that occurred. No detection for either player on that spot, but there comes an Overseer, gonna clean this up. Looks like INnoVation is gonna be able to just establish these other bases just completely unchecked. There hasn't really been a counterattack by the Zerg player at all. Parasitic Bomb continuously hitting the Medivacs. That's Rogue getting guaranteed payouts from his spellcasters, even if it is just some damage on a Medivac. Army supply is actually dead even for a second there. And yeah, let's take a look. INnoVation starting to transition into these Liberators, producing 6 at a time, which is the sign of a just redonkulous Terran economy, as lurkers are not cheap at all. And so 6 at a time is really a testament to INnoVation's crazy economy. INnoVation, I was wondering if he was going to do this, actually just unloads on top of the lurkers with Medivacs, kind of like they're siege tanks, and that's how they function. Lurkers have a hard time dealing with units right on top of them, but let's see how this fight works out. Looks like Rogue is able to force INnoVation back. All the while, there is a counterattack. Now, this is what we needed to see from Rogue for a long time. Is he going to get these SCVs? Looks like the lurkers are going to burrow, and quite a few of the SCVs will die. The lurkers do have to run away, though, as INnoVation is setting up Liberators right on top of them. The lurkers can tank a few Liberator shots, but some of them are going to go down. The bio is going to scan, so 6 lurkers of Rogue get cleaned up, and lurkers are not that cheap of units. At the same time, though, Rogue is just sending squads of lurkers to every one of INnoVation's bases. Planetaries alone cannot stand against lurkers, so INnoVation, he lost his 5th base, now losing his 6th base. Looks like he may lose his 7th base, although it's not quite as pressured. The Liberators do come in, they're going to force this away. Still, though, great play by Rogue, finally getting some damage done in this game. Sends a Link counterattack to where he knows a command center is going to be rebuilding. It gets cancelled. All of a sudden, INnoVation's economy is falling apart. All of a sudden, he's up against a Zerg player who's been completely battered this entire game, just on the defensive, and now Rogue's going on the offensive. He's got a good army supply. He's reached that maxed out supply, whereas he's been at a deficit most of this game. Vipers are coming forward. They can abduct these Liberators into the Hydras. I mean, the Zerg army is going to attack this PF. The PF alone will not hold. INnoVation realizes that. He's just got to retreat from this location, and he just doesn't have a lot of extra bases to help him out. I mean, the Terran player was able to produce 6 Liberators at a time, but on INnoVation's current economy, he can't do that, so he needs a really good engagement here. The Liberators are getting some good shots off on this Zerg army. Lots of abducts to remove Liberators from the equation. INnoVation kites back with his bio. In the end, though, he did have to kite back, and he wasn't able to make a play happen. The Terran's now the player who's down on supply. Looks like a Liberator is helping clean up these lurkers, but he can't go back to work just yet, as the Liberators are simply just repositioning behind this base, so SCV's got to run. The Liberator, yeah, gonna start cleaning these up, but lurkers do take quite a few Liberator shots. INnoVation continuously pushing the Zerg player. Rogue, however, has been fine on 4 bases for most of this game. He's got his 5th going. He's now got a 6th going. INnoVation trading out with his bio, losing quite a few units. Medivac's getting picked off. And I gotta say that this has been a phenomenal TvZ from Rogue. All of a sudden, when he went on the offensive, it was just like a switch flipped. And INnoVation was completely on the back foot. Those lurker hit squads got so much damage done. This one lurker out in the middle of the map, able to get picked off. But man, INnoVation's army, I just don't think it's up to the task of dealing with the force of Rogue. I mean, this is a very strong Hydra composition. Hydra's trade quite alright versus Bio, particularly with Lurker support. And yeah, Rogue's pushing forward. INnoVation's got this base. He's got Liberators setting up. Rogue's just simply going to move forward, just push through the Liberation Zone, start picking off those Liberators right into the PF even. He doesn't care. INnoVation's army just falls. And all of a sudden, Rogue, basically with just 3 punches at once, crippled INnoVation, knocked him out of the game, and was able to take it. GG gets called. A beautiful, beautiful play by INnoVation, or by Rogue, pardon me. INnoVation was doing pretty good at the start of that game, really just keeping the pressure on, but gosh, I can't overstate how effective that triple punch from Rogue was. Like, let's just go. As Terran can afford to lose 1 command center and replace it, no problem. But losing 3, it's just like, no, your entire economy is gone, sir. And so yeah, we see if we see the lurkers come in to hit this base, all the while INnoVation's being pushed back, having no successes. He didn't really have the entire game. And then Rogue's like, yeah, I managed to sneak out 6 lurkers to hit this PF. The SCVs run away, they can't save that base. And so INnoVation says, oh no, I'm going to lose a command center. At least they got these 2 other here. Well, Rogue says, well, about that, really, as he sends in 10 more lurkers. 5 lurkers alone just require such a response from the Terran. These lurkers go to hit this base. All the while, these other lurkers are starting to pressure this PF, so this is the next base to die. And then INnoVation, he holds onto this base for a little bit, but in the end, yeah, Rogue is able to break that PF. And once that one's gone, that really is the end of the economy for INnoVation. And so beautiful, beautiful play by Rogue, holding on, getting to that lurker composition, and it goes to show how Zergs do have some late game viability at a deficit of an economy compared to a Terran, and they can still win the game. So really great showing by Rogue. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this commentary, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. And if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. You can get various perks. Check that out in the link down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Good night, everybody.